Welcome to today's physics class. For today, I'll help you solve question 4 of your tutorial sheet. I want you to pay extra attention so that you understand. Before I start, just ensure that subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow our Facebook page so that you will be updated or notified whenever a new video is posted. For now, let's start. So now, what's the question saying? A commuter airplane starts from an airport and takes the route shown in figure P1.71. The plane first flies to city A, located 175 km away in a direction 30.0 degrees north of east. Next, it flies for 150 km, 20.0 degrees west of north to city B. Finally, the plane flies 190 km due west to city C. Find the location of city C relative to the location of the starting point. So now, how can you find the location of city C, this one, relative to the location of the starting point here? This is our starting point. So how can you find the location of city C relative to the location of the starting point? So now here, the first thing that you're supposed to do, you're supposed to resolve your x and y component of each leg that you have here. So here, from our origin, from A to B, we need to resolve our x and y component for this. Once we're done, we need to resolve our x and y component for A to B. Once we're done, then we need to resolve our x and y component for B to C. Once we're done resolving our x and y component for each leg, then we need to add all the components. Once we add, it will be easy for us to calculate for the magnitude of the resultant vector and also our direction. So now let me try to show you what I mean for the sake of space. So just like I said, we need to resolve the x and y component for each leg from O to A, then from A to B, as well as from B to C. You get? Yes, because our aim is to find the location C relative to the location of what? The starting point. So now let me try to show you what I mean. So let's start with our O to A. Once we're done, we'll move to A to B, just like that. So now let's start with this now. So now, from your origin to A, what's the magnitude which is here? Let's try to get it from the question. The plane first flies to city A, located 175 km away in a direction of 30 degrees north of east. So there is 175 here, though they didn't indicate, but it's in the question. You get? So how are we going to resolve now our x and y component for this? We need to extend from our origin here in the x, we even indicate the direction there. Then also here, we take it in the y, because we want to try to resolve our x as well as our y component for this. So now let's start with our x and y. So let's start with our x. So how are we going to resolve our x? We need to multiply our magnitude we have from there. Since it's for the x, we use cos. What's our direction? That's 30 degrees. Now, what about our y? We'll multiply that. Let me just deal with our y. So what about our y? So our y, we use the same magnitude, which is 175. Since it's a y, we use sine. And our theta is in the x, so we're using sine 30. Yes. So now, from here, let's just try to punch on our calculator and see what we're going to obtain. So we have 175 multiplied by cos 30. It's giving 151.555, which you can round off to be 151.6 kilometer. Yes, you indicate the kilometer. Then from here, let's also do the same for 175 multiplied by sine 30. So we're getting it to be 8 7.5 kilometer. So from here, are we done? No. Let's also resolve for our x and y component for A to B. So let's now do A to B. Now, from here, so let's try to resolve. So here, let's try to extend now. From this point now, this is our what? Our y. Indicate the arrow. Now, which one will be our x? This one. We're trying to connect these two dots. Not so. Yes. So that's our x here. This is our y. Now, when you look your x and y, your theta or your direction or your angle, where is it? Is it in the x or in the y? It's in the y. So now, everything changes here. We won't multiply our x with our cos, we'll multiply with our sine. Why? Because our theta or the angle is in the what? In the y. If it's in the y, just as you have seen, this is your x, eh? This is your what? Your y. You get? That's your x, that's your y. You get? Now, when you look at your x, when you look at your x, this one is what? Is the opposite. Have you seen the angle is pointing the x? So when you do your Sokotoa well, we're going to take our x to have the what? The sign. Yes, because that's our opposite. Now, when you look at your y, this is your adjacent. It's a long adjacent, the one you're having. So when you do your Sokotoa well, because you're having a long adjacent in the y direction, we're going to take it to be what? Our cos. You get? So here it's different because of our theta is in the y. You take your x to have the sign, and then your what? Your y to have what? Your cos. But if your theta is in the x axis, then take it just like the way we do most of the time. So take note of that. Hope that is clear. Now, let's quickly look at, let's now try to multiply. What's our magnitude for this? They haven't indicated yet. So now let's take it from your question now. Next, it flies for 150 kilometer, 20 degrees. Have you seen 20 degrees? Now, so this is 150 here. That's our magnitude here. Though they didn't indicate here. So for us to resolve our x and y, we multiply this same magnitude. You get? So here we have 150 degrees. Also, it's not the degrees. This is the 150. Yes, that's 150. That shouldn't be your degree. So that's 150. That's our magnitude. And then what's the direction given here? So that's 20. You get? Now, it shouldn't be positive. See your x. Where is it going? It's going to the what? To the negative. So our x will be negative 150. Let me write it nicely. Negative. So take note of the directions. Very much important. Where is your x pointing? Your arrow. Where is it going? Where is it going? To the west. So you take it as negative 150. Yes. Take note of that. Now, what about your y? Where is it pointing? It's pointing to the positive y-axis. And this is positive. So just take it as 150. So take note of that. Yes. Now, what will be your direction? Your direction, same direction, which is 20. So now, from here, let's try to punch on our calculator and see what we obtain. So now, we have negative 150 multiplied by sine 20, which is giving negative 51.3 kilometer. Now, what about the other one here? So we have 150 multiplied by cos 20, which is giving 140.9. Now that 9, you can round it off to give you 1.0 kilometer. Are we done? No. We have just resolved for A to B, but we need the last one now, B to C. So now let's resolve for B to C. Yes. So now let's start with our x. Yes, our x components there now. So our x. So have seen here? Have you seen your x? Your x, yes, we have, but do you have our y? Our y we don't have here. Yes, our y we don't have. So therefore our y is 0. But for our x we have. But why are we going to obtain our x? We come to the question. Finally, the plane flies 190 kilometer due west. This is the west, eh? So here we have 190. You get? So now where is it going? The direction to the negative. So it's going to have, for x is negative 190. This one don't even have to multiply with whatever. No. Yes, because this is what? The horizontal line. Eh? I'm sure I remember what I told you about the horizontal line and everything like that. Yes, your y you don't have. It's same as the 0. You get? In this case, it's 0. Yes. Now, from here, what are you supposed to do? So that kilometer again. What are you supposed to do? Just like I said, once you have resolved your x and y component, you are supposed now to do what? To add. You add all the what? The components for x as well as for y. So let's start for x. Let's start with what? The x what? Component. So for x, which ones do we have? Let me do this. For x, we have this. You get? Also, which one? This one. Which other one? We also have this. Then for y, let me just do it so that you understand. For y, we have which one? This one is for y. Which other one is for y? This one. You get? Then also 0, but 0 is just same as nothing. So this we will forget about. So let's add these ones in blue now for x. So we have 151.6. Now this one we have plus, now positive and negative, so minus 51.3. Then which other one do we have for the y? We have this one here, which is giving us negative, because positive and negative, if you are giving negative, so negative 190, like that. So now what are we going to get once we do everything at once? So when we do 151.6 minus minus 51.3 minus 190, we're getting I'm getting negative 9.7. You even indicate now kilometer. I didn't indicate because of space. Yes. So once we have this component, at least we are safe. Now we're not done yet because we need to do the same for y. So let's add for this one in yellow now. So here we're just going to have 87.5 plus which one are we having there for y, which is 141.0. Then we do this. What are we going to get? So when we get 87.5 plus 141, I'm getting it to be 228.5 kilometer. So just by doing this, at least you are safe. Let me just try to get rid of that. But before I get rid of that, just because we're having this, and yes, we're having these two answers, this one and this one. So what does this mean now? Yes, focus on these two. What does this mean? I want you to understand something. Focus on this one. Yes, these two answers here. Your negative. So where is your location now? To the west. Have you seen this one here? It's going to the west. So here, which means we have, let me write it like that. So which means here we have negative 89.7 kilometer, this one, not so. And then, yes, this is what it means. We're trying to locate C. So for you to locate C, just as you have seen, we need to move what? To the west, not so, which is negative, that's why it's negative 89.7 to the west. Now, what about this positive y? Which means we need to go up now. You get? So up there now, we're moving now. We're trying to locate that. Let me write it somewhere. Yes. So that's a point now, something like that. For the sake of space, sorry for that, I didn't draw it nicely. Let me try to, yes. So this is what you need to understand. This is something. So now this positive one here, it's here 228.5. Yes. So we're trying to locate what? C. You get? So now that's how you go about C. You get? So now what does that mean? It means um it means city C is located 89.7 kilometer to the west and 228.5 to the what? To the north. That's what it means. That's the interpretation for this. Now, are we done? Yes, you're just done by just doing this, but you know you need to solve for your magnitude as well as for your direction, because just by doing this, then you have managed to locate your point. So we're saying that this point C is located what? To the north, 228.5 kilometer to the what? North. And then to the east, this direction here, which is negative this magnitude, sorry, which is a negative 9.7. Then from here you need to solve for your magnitude as well as your the magnitude, the resultant magnitude, as well as your direction. Then you'll be done. As simple as that. So let me try to show you how this thing is done. Then we can call it a day, a night, a morning, depending on the time you're watching this video. Yes. Hope you have gotten the point and you have understood. Yeah. So let me just create some space so that we conclude. I'm about to done. Yes, and I'm sure solving for the magnitude as well as for the direction is not something that can stress you. It's something that you know. So now here, now let's try to solve for the resultant. Yes, the magnitude of the resultant here. So how are we going to solve the magnitude of the resultant? So we know that we need to have our x, then our y, like that. So now here, which one is our x? According to this, which one is our x? Our x is this same one, not so. Yes, in here you can even take it to be a positive, it's the same thing, because once you square root, the negative will disappear. Plus, what's our y? Our y is that one here, which is 228.5. Have you seen? You square it like that. So now, when you do everything at once, in your calculator, you get? We're getting it to be, when you square root, you're going to get 245.5 kilometer. So this is your resultant. Now, what about the direction? What about the direction? So let me create some more space so that you see how this thing is done. Let me create some more space so that you see how this thing is done. Yes. So for the resultant, you solve it like this. So we know that, so for the direction, tan inverse your y over your x, like that. So now here, which one is your y? Your y, you know that you're having it to be 228.5 over which one is your x, which is 89.7. Just take it as a positive here because that's your theta. And then what will be your theta? So once you punch this, which is 228.5 divided by 89.7, shift tan, the theta is going to be 68.6 degrees. Then just by doing this, then you're done. Just by doing this, then you're done. You have found your theta, your direction, as well as your the magnitude of the what? The resultant. So from here now, you can just indicate where this CTC is what? Located. So you can say it's located to 45.5 kilometer. You get? At what? At which direction? At 68.6 degrees north of what? West. Then you're done. As simple as that. So let me know if this video was helpful in the comment section, and let me know if you understood how to go about this So that's how you go about this. And then for those who are doing tuitions with me, the question that I'll send directly to your inbox. And for those who are in need of serious tuitions for your natural sciences, don't hesitate to WhatsApp me on this WhatsApp number, and I'll be able to get back to you and to answer your questions. Thank you so much, and let me know if this video was helpful in the comment section. Thank you.